when they see, here's something that they all do, the politicians. The Democrats have more progressive liberals in the Hollywood community and the show business world, so they'll show up with Jay-Z or somebody else will show up with Carole King or somebody I like, for example, or Barbara Streisand. I wonder when those, except for Bruce Springsteen, who represents regular people, I just wonder when these get-togethers publicly with Cher and the other, if they don't hurt the Democrats, because it looks like, and there's nothing evil about it, it just looks like the winner's circle. Like, aren't we all winners together? And then most people say, well, nice party, but I wasn't invited. Your thoughts, John?
Oh, without a doubt, and I'll give you an example. They put out a video this year, out of Hollywood called Famous Hollywood Actors, where they came and said, save the day. We're telling you as famous Hollywood actors, you got to vote for them, for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And I put a parody of that out. It had 14 million views in less than 2 weeks, making fun of these Hollywood actors because people find that slightly offensive. It's not that they dislike the actors, it's just that they find the whole process of feeling like they're going to be told something is wrong. And that, I think, paid a price for Hillary with all the events she did at the end.
I was thinking of what happened in Massachusetts years ago, not many years ago. Remember Scott Brown won that upset against Joan? It's just like he was coming out against the wine and cheese liberals of Boston. And he put a truck out there. He rode around in a truck. And all he had to do, this guy, this middle-class lawyer, possibly upper middle-class lawyer with a wife who's an anchor woman or whatever, all he had to do was drive around in this truck, and it sent a message that got him elected in an upset election there. Your thoughts?
Yep. Populism used to actually belong to the Democratic Party, and it was almost always a Democrat who was a populist.
Yeah.
I think Donald Trump figured that out. And the same people who went out in the primaries and cast their votes for Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders had a message that appealed to the forgotten and left behind American who's wondering what happened to their government, what happened to Washington. A lot of those Democrats who voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary went out in Wisconsin and in Pennsylvania and in Michigan, and they voted for Donald Trump because Donald Trump represents somebody who was emotional and not rational and intellectual, and because he actually felt what they're feeling, or at least he conveyed what they're feeling in a more kind of empathetic and authentic way. And you know, I happen to think that the policies he pursues are not going to be those that those voters are going to agree with. But we'll see.
Scale 1 to 10, what are the chances Trump will be a successful president? Steve first.
Well, if he becomes a deal maker and he goes to the middle, he's got a much better chance of being successful and getting reelected than
Give me a number.
I would say 4 or 5.
Okay, John Brabender, what are the chances of Trump being a surprise success, and I mean a surprise to a lot of people, successful president? The way Reagan was a surprise to a lot of people. Your thoughts?
I think probably a 7 or 8, because I think people are going to find out very quickly, like they did last night, Donald Trump, the president, is going to be a lot different than Donald Trump, the candidate.
That's a prayer. That is a prayer for all of us, because I did think last night he was right on the mark with everybody worried about the 800 drop in this Dow futures I never even heard of before, Dow futures, let alone, and then today we're up about 300 points in the real Dow. That was a nice speech that could do that. Anyway, thank you, John Brabender, and thank you, Steve McMahon.
Thank you.
It's great having you on.